Down in Corktown in this amazing condominium. So you're wondering, why am I in the master bedroom? Because my guys were so smart. They sat down with the builder, and when they bought this condo, this used to be a 2-bedroom and a den. So imagine, there used to be a wall here, and this was a small den and a small master bedroom. And they said, we want way more space. So they blew out the wall, put this huge wall-to-wall closet unit in, and made this ginormous master bedroom, which is awesome. We also have a second bedroom, which can be a home office, guest room. They have their own bathroom. I love these plans because they're a split level plan. If you ever want it as a rental, it's great because you live on that side, I live on this side with my own bathroom, and we share the middle. And it's a great open concept, breakfast bar, wood floors, stainless steel appliances, and the deck goes the whole length of the unit. You can have quite the party out there. This building rocks. It's got a gym, games room, lounge, guest suites, lots of visitor parking. And we are in such a great location because you know what? Go over the DVP and you're in Leslieville. Go up and you're in Queen East. You've got Corktown, you've got the St. Lawrence Market, walkable, you've got the Distillery District. Get on the Gardiner, drive anywhere up the DVP, Gardiner to the airport. It's such a great location. So look, go to stusells.ca, see all the photos, the virtual tour, the videos, and give me, Stu, a call and come for a private tour.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to curling.com, sportsnet.ca, and World Curling TV's continuing coverage of the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard. This is the final draw of the triple knockout, and tonight we're going to be watching a fantastic game between Toronto's John Epping and Halifax's Team Flemming. The winner of this game will move on to face Jason Gunlickson, and the game is already underway here. John Cullen with you once again, and pleased to be joined by a special guest color commentator this evening. He is a 2-time Newfoundland and Labrador Brier champion. Greg Smith is here. Hi, Greg.
How's it going, John? Glad to be here tonight.
Oh, happy to have you here. I think the fans will love having your expert take on the game this evening.
Good. Well, we have Roxon playing the first 10, so I already like that to begin with.
Yes, me too. Me too, absolutely. Yeah, so it's a host of C qualifiers out here on the ice tonight. We'll do our best to keep you updated on all of the action. On Sheet 2, in men's action, we've got 3 games. Sheet 2, we've got Pat Ferris against Rob Ainsley. Sheet 4, we've got Mark Keane against Jonathan Buke. And then the 3 ladies' C finals, Justin Murphy against Irene Shorey, Isabel Ladiseur against Shannon Jay, and Mackenzie Zacharias against Yunjung Kim. So a lot of great games out here. We'll do our best to keep you updated. And as I said off the top, this is a C final for the men as well. One of these teams will make it to tomorrow's playoffs, and one of them will go home. The winner here gets to play Jason Gunlickson tomorrow in the quarterfinals. So, Greg, you were just on the ice all weekend. You just unfortunately lost your C semifinal, and maybe you want to tell the viewers a little bit about your experience here and also just the ice at Oakville. How was it for you guys?
Yeah, it was a great week. weekend here. Started on Friday. It was fantastic. And the ice is absolutely great here. This is one of the best surfaces that, we get to play on other than an arena. And unfortunately, just a couple misses here by the skipper this weekend. But, I think we're quite pleased with our weekend, and we'll go home to St. John's and regroup. But great field, great event, and Stu always hosts an amazing, amazing tournament, and this is no different. And ice here is absolutely top-notch, so players are in for a treat.
Good, yes. Great to hear. That is kind of what we've heard from the players all week here. It's been really like you said, an arena-like feel to it, as much as it can be in a curling club anyway. We've seen lots of curl. We've seen draws around 15 and a half seconds to hog, and it's been really good. So this is the second time we've seen Epping on a feature sheet. They were winners the last time they were here. This is the first time we're getting a look at Paul Flemming's rink. They're from Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Good chance here for Paul to line 3, I believe.
Yes, absolutely. Without hammer.
And the last time that John played a feature this week, he was victorious over a team from St. John's.
That's right, yes. May or may not have been your team.
May or may not have.
In this event, that could be more than one team. Sometimes, usually if there's a team from St. John's in an event, you know which team it is. But Brad Gushu, of course, here this week as well. They were one of the A qualifiers in the event, so we'll see them tomorrow morning in the quarterfinals.
Looks like a nice hit and roll here coming up from Matt Cam. Chance to set up the deuce.
So he'll be looking to get behind the corner guard here is Matt Cam.
That's a great shot.
Really good shot, yeah. I forgot that he was playing a thin double. I was imagining he was hitting and rolling, but still a great shot from Matt Cam. And John Epping's lineup will be familiar to people who have been fans of curling. It's been the same for the last 3 years. John Epping obviously at skip, Ryan Fry at third, Matt Cam at second, and Brent Lang at lead. And we'll have Brent mic'd up for this game, as well as John, of course. And here we get our first look at Scott Zachary.
Easy, whoa.
The third for Paul Flemming. And I was saying earlier that you may know Paul Flemming as being the third for Jamie Murphy, but Jamie Murphy stepped away from the game. I was talking with Paul before the game, and he just said Jamie's got 3 kids and just happy being a dad and is not regretting his decision to walk away from the game at all. So it's a bit of a different look for this team, though. They've got Paul Flemming now skipping and throwing last, and Scott Zachary at third, Ryan Abraham at second, and Phil Crowell at lead. And this is obviously the Flemming team, Greg, one that you're probably familiar with, both being Atlantic teams, and I'm sure meeting a few times on tour over the years.
100%. I think all the Atlantic teams know each other quite well. We get to play in the events in Atlantic Canada, so for sure. Interesting end shaping up here. The whole mission from Flemming is to not set up a double and get the force. The opposite then from Epping is to kind of generate the deuce and get the rocks closer together. So this is not quite the wide open first end that you see every now and then, or you don't see it all from us. But
yeah, you guys like your rocks in play.
Yeah, I think we've had like 2 blanks the entire season in the first end, but that's fine.
That's great.
No 4s or 5s, so that's good.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Same weight. That was good board or control? Okay. That's not bad. Yeah, just.
This is interesting here. You either have to roll a little bit to the left or a lot to the right. If you roll to center, you might leave a controlled double and roll. So 2 really optimal spots for this shot here from Scott Zachary.
Whoa. Phil. All right, Phil.
So Phil Crowell trying to make it curl here.
Okay. That's good.
And that's one of the optimal spots.
Yeah, very nice throw from Scott Zachary, and Paul Flemming will continue to lie 2 here.
so. Nose! See much else. How hard? Forward! I think it'll be gradual. I don't think it'll go nuts, Ryan.
Nice to see John Epping sporting the hat tonight. I don't know if that means he's in a more serious mood or a more playful mood, Greg, but he's got the hat on all the same.
I have no idea. I wore a ball cap 5 times in 2 years, so I don't know what that means for me either.
I'll have to start paying more attention.
Good shot.
Good shot from John Epping there.
Good spot there.
You think that's there? No. I think we just...
He kind of forces Flemming to go after one of the reds here.
Yeah, let's play that.
I'm going to pay more attention. Okay. Now that I'm commentating, I'll see over the year, I'll see if I can collect more data about whether the hat means serious or playful. But it is a C qualifier, so I'm going to say serious. I'm going to say this is like he's got his like game face on, but it's like his game hat.
I think you might be right.
I think so too.
Just forward.
So needs to roll here to be 1-2. So this is a key shot here from Paul on his first.
Yeah, you can't nose here. And you also can't jam here, so.
And you can't touch the guard.
Yeah, yeah. So, a little bit of a tricky shot.
Yep.
Paul made a pistol today to win his match as well.
Hard, Phil! Yep! Gotta go! Yep! Hard!
Phil Crowell on this right out of the hand.
This is moving here.
It is. But
Not
he will get
the worst outcome for that.
Yeah, I was going to say, got a little bit lucky to still lie 2. I think there is still a double there, Greg.
Yeah, you can probably throw a soft weight double I3 here. But a better outcome than you would expect for Reckon on the guard there. Moved a lot. I'd say probably a little bit of a fresh spot there.
Yeah, this is something we've seen today in particular, but throughout the event, the rocks do seem to move a little bit more off of center.
What's up, Johnny?
Seeing like a firm control.
Okay.
So as we said, John Epping looking for a control weight double here.
Really close. Whoa.
Running pretty straight here.
It is Matt Cam trying to bring it over. And he can't bring it over enough, so that'll stick right behind that red rock. And Paul Flemming looking good at minimum for a force here, Greg, and maybe even we'll be able to set up something for a steal.
I think you still got a hit here, though, John. I think you're probably going to have to mitigate the deuce somehow.
Right? We don't have to make it. Yeah, you just got to go a little.
Yeah, either roll a little or you roll fully behind.
Yeah, because he's got to make that.
Yeah.
Well, unless he makes
I want these staggered, though. I don't want to.
Right there.
Yeah.
Same.
That's a hair more.
Yeah.
Same weight?
Same weight.
Be interesting to see here. This is the second rock down this path off the center. If it's a little more straighter as opposed to the movement he saw on his first one. Assuming it might be a hair straighter, seeing that it was a little fresh down that path, and none of the teams would throw really in there for the draw to the button.
So the final stone here in the first for Paul Flemming without hammer. Already lying 1 and looking to lie 2.
Yep. Whoa. 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 Yep. Yes. Hard. Whoa. Hard. Roll a bit. Whoa. Hard.
And that is a great shot.
Yeah, perfect shot, really. I mean, he rolled it just half an inch far enough to be second shot. And it's not an easy draw here for John Epping. And you'd also probably be a bit sketched out playing the run back, because if you ever miss it, you're giving up 3.
Yeah. Say he has to play the draw through the hole here, but just perfect outcome. It cements the force here.
Chase might be there.
And potentially a steal.
Are we second? No. No? Okay. Never mind. I think I like the double. What? I think I prefer the slash, but what are you looking at? Peel? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a hope and a prayer to stick.
Little less.
Just out turn tap.
So this goes to show just how tough that draw through the hole might be. So John Epping going to try the slash double. I guess the thought here, Greg, is that even if you miss it, at least you're not giving up 2. You're only giving up 1.
Yeah, I think it's 6 1, half dozen the other. You either give tighter ice on the draw and then you tap the red in, or you play this. But you know, this is a bread and butter shot for John.
So final stone here for John Epping, facing 2. Needs to make a slash double.
Attaboy,
Great
John.
shot.
And he does. It must be Thanksgiving. The bread is buttered. John Epping makes a great shot for 1 in the first end. Paul Flemming will take the hammer into the second. You're watching curling.com.
Okay, good start.
Here at Red Arena, we are trying to help people through equine therapy. Working with the veterans has been a very amazing experience. Our little motto that we always say is empowerment through horses. I love what I do. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Thank you for being that wild, crazy place filled with love and joy that I get to raise my family in.
Thank you for movie night.
Thank you for my new home, for giving me my independence.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to continuing coverage of the Stu Cells Toronto Tankard live from Oakville, Ontario. This is the C final between John Epping and Paul Flemming. John Cullen here alongside Greg Smith. And Greg, John Epping making it look easy on his last one, but it was anything but a tough shot for 1 in the first.
Yeah, just a great shot there to get your 1 and just, you know, build some momentum. Because that end was looking all Paul the whole way through. So great, great shot. And this second now will be interesting. See if there's as many rocks in play to start.
So Phil Crowell, lead for Paul Flemming. Asked me to shout out his oldest son, Nathan.
Line's okay. Line's good.
It's his
Line's
birthday
good.
tomorrow. He turns 14.
Line's
So
good.
happy birthday, Nathan. Hope you have a great day.
Line's good.
You're off school, so it's
you
got to
got
be a
room.
pretty good day.
Line's good. Line's great. Line's great. Line's great. Line's good. Heavy. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
Baby.
light's good.
Whoa, nice
And
shot.
that's a nice shot from Phil there, that's for sure.
Redeemed himself.
So Matt Cam looking for appeal here. And he will. get it, but doesn't get the yellow in the house.
Say he's going to come around the center here, put some pressure on.
Yeah.
But the coming around the corner's not bad either.
Either that or that.
It's pretty good
Get
too.
that to there. I don't like that.
Well, then you heard it there first, folks, that he doesn't like the shot I suggested. And
I
that's
would
why
guess he's
he's in a
just-
C final. And that's why I'm here doing this.
Well, I guess he's maybe, Greg, worried that, you know,
You guys like
John
that, or do you
Epping's such a
wanna-
good
you wanna be a
hitting
little more
team that
aggressive?
you come around the center guard, they might have a chance
Like
to just
that?
run it back and lay buried.
Okay.
Exactly. If they nut that, it's behind 2 guards. So, yeah, around the corner is probably
Like this.
one of the better outcomes, actually. They're both split, and John's going to have a decision to make. I've known Ryan here since 2013, which doesn't seem like
Good.
a
Line's
lot
good.
for some older
Whoa.
people. I don't mean nothing, but like,
Okay.
Are
but
you calling me old, Greg?
no, not necessarily. I mean others. But I've known Ryan for years, so I've known him ever since play. Well, sorry, Ryan. But known him for years, so he's a class act, good guy, and we've curled against each other, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, since U18 Atlantics, which used to be a thing before the U18 Nationals.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So
I like that. Well,
2013, yeah, was when I met Ryan and Matthew Manuel and the gang.
I remember in, you know, it wasn't happening when I was still in juniors, because I am a little on the older side, or at least compared to you I am. But we had the U18 Westerns, so that makes sense. And it was the Optimist Championship, and it was actually an international tournament. So it'd be the Western Canadian teams, but then they would invite teams up from the U.S. to come play. So you'd have the Washington champion, the Alaska champion. I think Japan might have even come over and played in it as well. But
There was a team from well, actually, my third here this week. I don't know why I'm saying this week because Greg Blythe's stuck with me unless he leaves me. He skipped the U18 Newfoundland team at the Optimist. So Newfoundland and Atlantic Canada would rotate a representative every 4 years.
Gotcha.
What do you like,
okay,
Ryan?
nice.
You like that?
So looking for the run back here, I think, for Ryan's second shot.
Yeah, unfortunately, he just couldn't get through that port and bumped John Epping up into the house. And so it's a chance for Ryan to put a little white out over that mistake.
Yep. Yep. Okay.
And he jams it.
Pretty good, though.
Yeah, gets it out of the forefoot.
They're going to control the front there, so John's going to come around, try to put some pressure on.
Almost don't want to go that far. I don't think it's the fast stuff, no. But my guard slid pretty nice, Ryan, so maybe play it as pretty fast.
Looks a hair straighter here based on the ice they're taking than what we've been seeing earlier draws. And I mean that quite marginally. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if it straightens up a hair later in the game.
A bit too hard.
This is tracking right now, though.
Yeah, we're back, Greg.
Yeah, one thing we've seen is throughout the week that if you're a little heavy at all, it's just not going to curl.
Okay, Ryan.
Yeah,
The finish on this ice is mostly late, so
Towards the line.
if you don't manage to throw the right weight, you're just not going to end up with the rock where you want it.
Yeah, and that's the similarity to this as a really good club ice to arena, is that it isn't really forgiving if you're not throwing the right weight. So that's the benefits of playing on a really good surface like this.
Yeah.
Or if you're Ryan Fry, maybe the shortcoming, since he was a little deep on that one. This will be an opportunity for Scott Zachary and Paul Flemming to potentially get a deuce set up.
Line's good. Line's good. Close, yep. Line's good. Yep. Line's good. Line's good. Line's good. Sweep for weight. Hard then. Hard, guys. Hard. Line's perfect. Hard, guys.
They're going to have to go for weight. This
Hard,
looks
guys.
pretty
Gotta
good,
go.
though.
Gotta go. Gotta go. Keep going. Keep going. Nice shot.
Really nice setup there.
Good sweep.
Dead nose.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to play the runner.
Well, even if you nut it, we're going to
If
be
we nut
shot.
it,
And you can go
they're
this way at
shot,
it.
Or we're shot.
So it seemed like Ryan Fry was maybe trying to
Nose, hair high.
get rid of both guards and squirt through the hole, but John preferred the run back, so that's what they're throwing, and I think I agree with John in this case.
Likewise.
Make this one.
Anything I hear high side here is a pretty good result.
Yeah.
As long as you're not low or not at, you're good.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Really great shot there.
Just like that. Ryan Fry makes them both go away. John Epping sitting 3 without hammer.
Yep.
Another chance to come around the guard here
Follow your hair more, guys.
and hope for a miss on the run back if it's made good.
Whoa. Whoa.
The sweepers do not like it. This is really going to need to slow down. Looked like it might have even picked there. It kind of slowed down pretty quickly, but not enough.
That little ad.
So John Epping still lying 2 without hammer here, and he's going to have a chance to put some pressure on here, Greg.
I agreed. I got
Yeah, big time. If he can put this top 4 fully buried, there's a ton of pressure there on the last 2 stones coming from Paul. And yeah, you'd rather be late there.
Just the good stuff kind of stuff, like
getting close to the fast
the
stuff.
fast stuff.
I mean, we got 14-4, 14-5 on that.
Okay.
That picked a little too.
It
at the
did.
end,
It
yeah.
sure did. Yeah. Okay.
So I think it's close to the fast stuff.
Okay. Half in the 4.
So John Epping trying to bury around a sort of hybrid center corner guard here.
This is running like it's hot as well.
Yeah, the sweepers are fully backed off here. But we did see Scott's really stop at the end, so John's might as well.
6 just tee though, so it's
Yeah.
pretty good.
It's trying. And it's in a pretty good spot.
Yeah. Not from there for a little freeze tap, but in a pretty good spot there. A lot of pressure is still here on Paul Flemming.
Yeah, this is sort of a tale of 2 teams playing a little better without hammer. Paul Flemming had John Epping in trouble for all of the first end, and the reverse has been true here.
So it looks like he's probably throwing like a back 8, maybe back house kind of weight here. Paul with the old school XL brownie brush.
No kidding, yeah.
Line's good.
Love to see that out there.
Whoa. Yep. How much? Whoa. Ryan. Yep.
And
Ryan.
this is running 2.
Phil. Ryan. Phil.
Gonna have to carve this.
Hard, Phil. Hard.
They think it's curling now.
Move it. You gotta move it. Keep it going.
Yeah, it's the
Both
weight's
of you.
coming off
Yeah,
there pretty
hard,
good.
guys.
Yeah,
It's going sideways. It's a good try.
yeah.
Okay.
Pretty close. Just, yeah, we've seen that here all day and all weekend, really, and even in this game where when it starts to curl, the weight really comes off it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You either got to lock this on here or go a little bit high. If you're not 1-2, there's that in-off there for the deuce or the draw to the pin for 1. So probably optimal here for John to lie 2.
I think if freeze ours on the angle is good, right? Okay. I mean, a little bit, like if we're second beside, it's good too. I mean, it's...
I'm worried the guard just comes off the wall, right?
He's going to come off the wall, and I mean, if...
Free rolling too, yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
I think this is great.
I think I just would. And
So where is that? That's just tap to the foot?
yeah,
So-
you want me to give you 2 feet less?
Yeah, sure. Something, yeah.
Okay. We'll easy
I
if
don't
you
think
can.
you're much less. Close. Okay.
Line's good.
This looks pretty good.
John Epping's final stone here in the second.
We're there, Fry.
Looking to just
Yes,
sit
great.
on top of his own.
Weight's great.
It's warping here.
It really is. They got to get it by that yellow. And
Great
they do.
shot.
What a shot from John Epping.
Probably going to draw the lid here or the in-off. And I would be saying the lid, but
Smoke, does that ever get to there?
still pretty tough.
Yeah, I guess the one pro of
Right
Or
there?
super.
drawing the lid is you can kind of smudge off the
Yeah, you
red,
just-
right?
You could make it super
it might be
thin and
there.
try to
I think
squirt
so.
it out, but
Unless you
you know,
pound it. Yeah, I think, yeah.
yeah, I think that's what they're trying. Super
get
thin,
lucky
maybe
on
for
that
2. But you got to throw a rocket,
yeah,
and this is
maybe.
another backswing here.
I think
I'm
it gets
excited.
here. Yeah.
A backswing and a brownie broom. Take me back to 1987, baby. So that's a good angle there. You can see Paul Flemming cannot see a lot of this rock, but he doesn't need to.
No, just needs about an inch and a half of the stone, and certainly the one. It's about sticking the shooter that's going to be tough. If you throw the right weight, should be able to squirt the one on the side of the button.
So here we go. Final stone for Paul Flemming, looking for a thin triple.
Pretty close.
Whoa.
Looks nice out of his hand.
Whoa, right.
Really close.
Hard right. Whoa, whoa.
Does he
He's got
have it?
He's got it. Pistol.
He does.
That's a pistol.
Wow. What a shot from Paul Flemming.
Good call, Scott. Yeah.
Unbelievable. And so just like that, Flemming turned a possible steal of 2 into a score of 2, and they're going to take a 1-point lead into the third end. You're watching the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard on curling.com.
Here at Red Arena, we are trying to help people through equine therapy. Working with the veterans has been a very amazing experience. Our little motto that we always say is empowerment through horses. I love what I do. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Thank you for being that wild, crazy place filled with love and joy that I get to raise my family in.
Thank you for movie night.
Thank you for my new home for giving me my independence.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard here on curling.com, sportsnet.ca, and World Curling TV. You're watching live coverage of the men's C final. Nova Scotia's team Paul Flemming against Toronto's team John Epping. John Cullen alongside Greg Smith. And Greg, This is the 9th game I've called all weekend, and that was one of the finer shots I've seen. Paul Flemming with just a little how do you do for 2.
That was a pistol, really. It was, about a half a rock to, maybe a third to secure the 1. But to make that and to just nut it for 2 is just a pistol. So great shot there from Paul, and sitting pretty here going into the third end.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the double center. Love it.
Yep. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I feel, Greg, 2s like that always feel good, but they especially feel good when you're down the whole end, right? Flemming's chasing the whole end. John Epping makes exactly the shot he wants to on his last one. That's put it exactly where he wanted to, and just, sometimes you got to tip your cap to your opponent. Just a great shot by Flemming, and we'll see if they can carry some of that momentum here into the third.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing in this level is the precision. I mean, John made an absolute peach. If he was frozen and a hair high, that shot's not there. So about 1 inch, and it's almost secure a steal or a draw to the lid. And, that's the difference at this level of curling. So coming around the center here. Got to curl a little bit, but looks pretty good. Nice shot.
Yeah, Brent Lang, the veteran, getting them set up here. Of course, John Epping is off to the Olympic trials. Brent Lang, one of the defending trials champions, of course. So Epping just preparing for that. They've had a somewhat busy schedule to start the year, has Team John Epping. This is their third event, rather. All 3 played at the Oakville Curling Club, so there's no place like home for John. They were losers in the quarterfinal of both the Labor Day Classic and the Oakville Tankard, so they'll be looking to improve on that result here.
All right, guys. All right. Yep. Good sweep. Okay. Okay, bud.
There's a Nar guard up front here.
Yeah, we've got really a cluster of yellows in the front of the house here.
Yeah, probably going to come around the corner. There we go. Let's take play away from that.
Jeez.
No question. So we'll just take a look at some of the other sheets very quickly as Matt Cam is looking to come around this corner guard. Pat Ferris and Rob Ainsley exchanging singles. They're tied at 1. Rob Ainsley with the hammer playing 3. Mark Keane off to a good start, I should say, against Jonathan Buke. Mark Keane up 2-0. They're still playing the second end there. And then we've got 3 ladies C finals going on at the same time as well. Irene Shorey up 2-1 on Justin Murphy. We've got Isabel Ladisseur up 2-1 on Shannon J. And Mackenzie Zacharias up 2-1 on...
No, sorry. It is the opposite on sheet 7. They're down 2-1.
Are they?
Like
yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay. Sorry. Thank you.
It's like a control.
Had my own colors marked down wrong. It happens to the best of us, trying to keep track of 6 sheets here. Not the easiest, but yes. Thank you, Greg. It is Team Korea, Team Kim up 2-1 on Team Zacharias. So we'll keep you updated on all those scores as the games go on. And this is looking like another pretty good setup with the hammer for Team Epping here.
Eh? Yeah. It's like that heavy board there. Good board. You got it, bud.
Gonna try to roll behind center here, I'd say.
So big shot here for Ryan Abraham.
Yep. You got it. Head down. Whoa. Yep. Yes. Hey, Scott.
That's a lovely shot.
That is a lovely
Nice shot,
shot
Ryan.
indeed.
Beauty.
Wow. Fantastic roll from Ryan Abraham. And
That's my friend.
That's your friend, yeah. Little inside baseball here, but Ryan was also on a fantastic roll at the Woodbine Racetrack on Thursday.
I heard that.
Yeah.
I heard that.
That was I went out for dinner with your team and Paul Flemming on Thursday when we all arrived, and I guess Flemming got here a little early before they could check into their hotel, so they decided to check out some ponies before they checked into the hotel. And I heard that Ryan Abraham was the only one who came ahead on the ledger, so not at liberty to discuss how much the other guys are behind, though. I know their families might be watching, so.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Whoa! Yep!
So Matt Cam's going to look to come around and maybe freeze on that Ryan Abraham roll.
Go ahead, Fry.
Barely.
Go ahead, Fry.
This looks
Just go.
not bad.
That looks quite good indeed, yes. Nice throw from Matt Cam, and it looked like there just the sweepers maybe not trusting how much weight comes off it at the end, because it seemed like John really wanted them to sweep and the sweepers didn't seem too engaged, but sometimes it is hard to trust just how much weight is going to come off it at the end. Maybe something a little easier to see from commentary position or when you're the skip. So a nice call all the same, and a great shot from Matt Cam.
Yep. Line's good. Yep. Yes. Hard.
This is really moving here. I think he's on the front. Yeah, for sure.
Just that little bit less weight. And it looks there like it's a lot less weight, but it's actually not. It's just when you have just a little bit less weight, it gets the curl earlier, and you can sometimes mean the difference between getting in the house and coming up short.
Yeah, and I think the other great part about this surface too, though it didn't serve me great earlier, you need to make sure that you're super positive and back a little on your draws. If you're not and you're a little soft, even if your weight's pretty close, the sweepers can't save it. So, you have to make sure that you're a little back there, but if you overthrow and you're a little back, you're in trouble. So it's, it rewards a good throw. And, this is an interesting end. There's a lot of yellow in the control zone, but a lot of it is overlapped.
I think you can sit too.
It'll curl in there for sure, right? What do you like? You like around the red one? I don't hate that. I like them both. Let's make this. So we got to be a little aggressive here, right? That's good ice, just on the weight. It's a little slow here. Okay, we went for it.
There right now.
So John Epping trying to lie two here. This is going to be a very precise shot needed from Ryan Fry to do just that.
It's going to have to move after they get by the guard. This, I think, is
really good shot still, I think.
Great shot. I was going to say pistol. It is quite a pistol, but not quite second shot. It's an interesting setup here how you get the deuce, because there's no real lucrative run back for yellow or for red.
Well,
That into here.
no.
Unless you guard, I think the only thing you can do is just throw a missile down the center a little high and hope they kind of spin up and out, but
You gotta leave that.
not looking
gotta
great
try to- You
for
gotta try to lock it on.
a deuce or really for,
I think we gotta do that.
We're second, right?
Yeah.
Let's get right
the
there.
steal either.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're right.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have to be really mindful on this shot that you're not wide. The only place you can get into trouble is being
Top four.
a hair heavy or a hair wide.
Like top 8 is okay, but top 4, this spot would be the same speed as the other side, I think. I was a few feet light, right?
Okay.
Needs this to slow down.
Yeah.
Hard, Ryan.
You do not.
And that's
wanna
not
poke
the
'em in
outcome they
for
wanted.
No. Not only are you poking them in for second shot, but they might have a way to get in off of this here, Greg. Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, it's either that or you throw something softer and
if
try
you
to
take the
roll
red,
towards the
Now
center.
that he moved it,
But
Well, yeah, are we two?
yeah, that's certainly not the outcome that Scott or Team Flemming was looking for.
could just nose it with
Like
back
if we're
line.
two, I just like tapping this actually.
Yeah, the nose that John is referring to there is
Like I
pretty
say,
good
if
as
we're
well.
two, I just love
If you
this.
can get to the nose,
That's just.
it's good.
Get it past this.
How do
Yeah, I will
you?
try. I'll try.
Your two, I want to say your two is pretty well secured right
Boy,
now.
it's like
I'll be eating my words if I'm wrong, but
just into their zone.
how can you generate the third point is the big question here for Team Epping.
Yeah.
Then this is still there.
Exactly. That's what I like.
Is that a better shot?
Yeah, I just don't want to do anything where we hit and flop way over. Like, do you know what I mean?
Ryan. This straight draw might be a better shot.
Well, I think you can get into here.
Oh, we just did.
Like, I wonder if
The
this
straight
shot's
draw
just a
might be a
straight
better
draw in
shot.
there.
And even if you just freeze low, we want to keep that 6 there.
If you
still
straight
there.
draw in there, Team Flemming has to be very, very careful what they
just
do
throw it
because you
just
probably
sort
have
of
then an outside slash
No,
for
no,
4
it'll slide now. Two
if
down the path.
He's kind of gonna
nothing
have to
goes
guard
well
this.
for you.
Well, you got a freebie.
I like freebies.
Don't we all, Brent? Don't we all?
Yeah, it's just a bit of a harder shot. So if you like it, I like it.
That's all. That's a classic front end line right there when you're talking to the back end. Well, yeah, I mean it's harder, but I mean,
Make
we should
sure
probably
you guys
do
are on
it.
the same page.
Spoken like a true lifetime front end player,
Is
Brent
that what
Lang
he's
right there.
expecting?
I have a lot of ideas,
Johnny.
but I'm also the lead. So,
T-line? Yeah, just T. Just a draw.
Okay.
so they've decided on just a straight draw,
I only got. Oh, I don't think. I only got 14.
just to sit on top of that
14.5
red.
on his. So maybe a little bit less. No more for sure. Definitely less. Don't kill the line.
Whoa.
Wait's close.
Close. Yep.
Wait's there.
Whoa.
Wait's good.
Whoa. Go ahead. Go ahead, Langer. Go ahead.
This is going to have to move here.
I know, you got it.
Yeah, a
And
little
quite a
wider than
ways.
Ryan's last one,
Got it.
and this might do the same thing Scott's did.
Still not a bad outcome.
We're never getting number 2.
Yeah,
Well-
as Paul said, it's pretty hard to get second shot off the roll here, even though you're going to roll towards the
Yeah, I
center.
think just at this point, getting in there
Yeah,
to
you're right.
secure it, right?
You're right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think that's what you got to do.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Just board? We're going to throw hack. Hack. Okay. Hack. Just on the inside.
Yeah.
Right there.
Okay.
Okay, bud.
So I can tell you, Jonathan Buke putting 3 on the board against Mark Keane. So they are currently leading 3-2. Mark Keane with the hammer. They're playing the third.
Hack wait.
Paul Flemming
Yeah, hit
just
roll in.
going to play a little hack waiter and roll on top of the pile.
I'm almost sure my mother is not watching, but to Lady D, my mom, I will not be answering your phone call, but I do love you.
Hack. Whoa. Clean. Whoa. Whoa. Ryan. Whoa. Ryan. Hard. Gotta go, Ryan. You gotta go all the way, bud.
This is kind of the same spot as where if you're a hair up, it's hard to get in there. So I don't know if he's going to quite get to nose. No.
Okay.
Still not the worst outcome, but
That double? Is that
the
crazy?
deuce is looking quite favorable for Team Epping at the moment.
Think it ever
Does,
gets that?
does Epping have a wild triple here to lie 5?
It's,
That's the one I see.
it's kind of thin on the second rock. It's
For sure, yeah. It's very difficult. But I think it's there. I mean, it's more one you'd like to be
You
throwing
think
on your
it's like
last one than your first
Same
one,
as
probably.
Ryan, back ring
I
and
think it's
trying
more to
nose.
lie. Well, it's probably to lie 3 for sure. I think the one you nut down straight on the nose or hair high probably jams on the one on the left, just to make it. But certainly to lie 3.
he has to
You also
guard.
might be able to throw like a hack weight and just kind of shimmy in off towards the middle. Might be. It's tough, but it might be the better outcome.
You don't think I can make the trip?
Yeah, well, it's there. It's gonna hit that.
Yeah, but we'll sit 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or what do you think? And just draw. I just hate to push this and.
No, I was thinking back line.
Oh, okay.
This is, and then you got both sides, and this into the crotch here might be for a million. He's gonna have
That's
to guard
a good point
this,
from Brent
and then you're
there.
gonna have that
Okay.
for lots. But
Say I just made the high double and rolled out.
It's not bad.
He tries to loop it.
He's gonna try and freeze in there,
He's gonna try to freeze.
which you might have that or you might have that. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
Sure.
I do too.
Huh? A triple is really tough. I guess if
Yeah,
you just
great.
miss it though, like, no, it's
Great.
not really bad. Yeah. Just don't miss it high. It's gonna be straight.
Okay.
This is gonna run right down there, eh? Now?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like even Paulie's didn't really do much, and he usually gets some good finish.
I agree.
How hard are you throwing it?
I'm
Throwing
gonna
it?
throw Peel.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
So what is the shot call here, John? Sorry.
I don't know. I think he's maybe trying the triple. I just think that he thinks it's going to maybe fall back enough.
Yeah, I think that must be it.
Yep.
Yep. Back it up.
Yep.
Back it up.
Back it up. And no. Still,
Pretty good. Yeah.
wondering
still
now
pretty
if by moving that red over, if the run back is there, but what does the run back accomplish?
Safe. Yeah.
Because the red kind of blocked the yellow there on the center line. So we'll see kind of as that pans out.
I don't mind him running that in.
Yeah.
I don't
Ah,
mind
he sees it, so must have opened up a bit there.
guard that.
Yeah, because he's got to get guard that red or yellow.
Yeah. The red.
Yep.
Right?
He's banging
I
the
think so.
brownie brush. That means
Does
he's
he
guarding,
have
folks.
this? Skinny. What?
Yeah, I don't think the run is actually very good.
He's got that skinny.
Well, this is what Brent Lang was talking about, that if John could just get another rock in there, they'd have them both ways.
Yeah.
I think
don't
Johnny
make it,
either
though,
has to
opens this
guard
up.
here
I
or
don't
he has
see- I
to
don't see that. I don't see
just
this going
give
past
up the
there.
deuce and call it a day. Or make anything more than two more challenging.
Yeah. I think we guard that red, don't we?
The run back that was opened up is certainly not favorable for
As long as we guard the
Team
outside.
Flemming. A lot of terrible outcomes can happen from it. Yeah. So it looks like he's guarding the outside red on the corner there to make sure that the angle raise isn't there for maybe as many as 4 or 5. I don't know how Team Epping, if this is executed properly, can score any more than 2 other than this super skinny double on the right-hand side.
So final stone, Paul Flemming,
Got a curl a bit.
looking to guard to
Oh,
not
Ryan.
give up more than 2.
Whoa. Oh, he's Ryan. Yeah, you gotta go, Ryan.
It's not an enviable position, but it's one he's got to have.
Okay.
And he made it.
And he will. So not an easy shot there from Paul Flemming, but he makes it well. And now it's decision time for John Epping.
Yeah, that's the other one. He's got the.
Yeah.
For 3. This is looking tough. That's
I would say this. We could only get one, too.
how.
You could only get one. I see that one.
You just play this softer then for 3? Like it's almost on the, just a little bit on this side. It hits that side of that, and Probably get 3 with like board.
Okay.
Or no?
What do you think with like normal there?
I was thinking like just board. Like you're just basically tapping this into this guy.
Yeah, I think it's more weight than that.
Yeah?
I think it's thin.
Okay.
It's thin.
Well, on the angle is almost.
I think it's
Probably
normal.
quarter rock.
Or you take a run at.
Or we take a run at this thingy.
Ah,
That's 1 in
John.
100, isn't it?
There we go. That
Brent
is-
says it's 1 in 100. I think it might be even more than that.
Oh, I think it's.
4 that I see.
You really
I think it's
can't.
1 in 50, maybe.
Really?
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
That's fair.
But it's, you know, to get by the top one, it's just a,
It's
not
so
less
thin
than that.
And I think I sort of agree with what Paul Flemming said. They weren't too concerned about this shot because I don't know how far he can move that yellow that Ryan just touched.
It's there. It's just tough.
Yeah, it hit like a quarter of the top one.
But I
third.
think if anyone on tour can make it, John Epping would be the guy.
Oh, yeah. Could only get 1. Which one? This one? Okay.
Yeah.
This is- I
Okay.
don't
So
even
maybe
see-
like a 1/10 of a rock. And a Hummer coming down the sheet.
No kidding. I think John might hate the way it looks from the hack.
Seeing,
There's nothing else that looks much better, to be honest with you.
True.
Chance at 4 here for John Epping if this is executed properly, even though it is quite the shot. And it's floating a little here.
Yeah. Just got close, just needed to curl a little bit more. So unfortunately for John Epping, that was the one of the other 99 and not the 1 out of 100, but he still does get 2 and will take a 1-point lead into the 4th end. You're watching the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard on curling.com.
Thank you for being that wild, crazy place filled with love and joy that I get to raise my family in.
Thank you for movie night.
Thank you for my new home for giving me my independence.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm a little bit of a nerd when it comes to landscaping. I've studied soil down to the microbes. It's that level of detail I bring to my work and to my business. Straight lines and a healthy ecosystem is what I'm all about.
Asham Curling Supplies.
Superior fit, comfort, and performance. Asham curling shoes are the best we've ever used.
Hi folks, I'm Arnold Asham, and our product is always satisfaction guaranteed or your money back.
Asham Curling Supplies.
That's your best delivery of the day.
Here at Red Arena, we are trying to help people through equine therapy. Working with the veterans has been a very amazing experience. Our little motto that we always say is empowerment through horses. I love what I do. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Hello, folks, and welcome back. Continuing coverage of the Stu Cells Toronto Tankard live from Oakville, Ontario. John Cullen alongside Greg Smith, bringing you the C final action. Team Paul Flemming against Team John Epping. John Epping was looking for what Brent Lang called a 1 in a 100 shot on his last one for 4. It didn't quite come off, but he did still pick up a pair. So John Epping takes a 1-point lead into the 4th end here. And the 4th end starting a little more cautiously than some of the past ones that have seen a lot of rocks in play.
That's a good shot there.
Yeah, Matt Cam has been on the ball tonight. Very nice little roll.
Just through? Yeah.
So just back line here, just trying to get a little bit low for Ryan Abraham.
Almost hack. Whoa, hack. Whoa. Yep. Hack. Whoa. Hack. Good.
This looks close.
Trying to curve it.
Yeah, needs to curl.
And this looks like a pistol. Still a great outcome.
Yeah, really nice shot from Ryan. So Paul Flemming lying 2 with hammer, not too phased by the last end. Getting right back into it. In other action, Mackenzie Zacharias getting 2 back against Team Kim, so they now lead 3-2. And Mark Keane could only get 1 back against Jonathan Buke, so they're tied at 3. Buke with the hammer. Both of those games in the 4th end.
Yeah, just hack.
Team Ladisseur is up 3-1 on Shannon J here as they're looking to conclude the 4th end. And a lot of pressure here on Shannon J. There looks like there could be upwards of 4 red facing her on her last.
Straight. Straight. Whoa. Whoa.
Quite close. Oh, and the jam.
Just jams, but still a nice shot there from Matt Cam.
You like that same weight, Ryan, or you want a little more?
You got it. Forward. Forward.
Ryan Abraham sporting the Run Back hat. Of course, Run Back, the official apparel of curling.com. Founder of Run Back, of course, Mark Keane, out on the ice here as well. Got a lot of founders involved out here. Scott Zachary, also the founder of New Scotland Brewery in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. You can see their sweet logo on the back of their jackets. He told me he was going to send me some beer and some clothes, so I'm looking forward to it.
There you go.
I don't live in Halifax. I've never been, so this will be an exciting...
They have a lovely spot. Last time I was in Halifax last summer. Well, actually, not last time, but last time I was there for other than curling. So they have a lovely spot there down by the water in Dartmouth.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
And good beer. Good beer. Our sponsor, Kitty Vitty in St. John's, is great beer, but, you know, Scott, good beer. Good beer.
Hey, they're 2 different provinces. We can promote them both. Yeah.
Yeah, no, lovely spot. I think they have a couple spots too, Scott, and them. I think they have something at Halifax Stanfield Airport as well, or they did.
Of course, they're also sponsored by Lindsay Construction, Ocean, and Hardline.
Line's good.
I got the Hardline chrome handles. That was always my favorite. I had those as well.
They are nice.
They're flashy. I love them.
Stacy Devereaux, Stacy Curtis actually was one of the first teams I've seen with those. Well, actually with Hardline, and she had the chrome, and I was incredibly envious because they are pretty sleek brooms. Looking for the run back here now for Ryan Fry. This is not made. It's set up pretty good for a deuce here for Team Flemming.
Yeah, whoa!
Yeah, big shot here from Ryan Fry.
Whoa! No.
Oh, probably the worst outcome for that shot.
Yep, I would say so. So Ryan Fry unfortunately jams it on the rock outside the house, and now Paul Flemming lying to with a corner guard up. And really, John Epping told the story that the commentators didn't need to. The big, oh no.
We didn't have to say anything.
We didn't have to say anything.
We didn't.
We still did, but we didn't have to.
No, we said first. So chance really, I mean, this end now, unless things have to change real quick, a chance at 2 for sure, and potentially 3 for Team Flemming. John's going to have to make some 2 good shots on his last. Though, well, this is running pretty hot though, so might be a way out for Team Epping here. Still decent outcome.
Yeah, not bad. Again, that's just the case. If your weight gets up a little bit, the rock just doesn't react the same, and they were trying to get behind the corner guard there and didn't. And that's just a case of throwing it a little bit heavier than they wanted, and John Epping says he's trying for the triple. It is there. And if he makes it, that would feel like a opportunity lost here for Team Flemming. So big shot here for John Epping. It's his first in the fourth.
Get that going. Hard.
Yes! Whoa!
Oh,
what
great
a shot. John Epping with a little double and a kiss.
That's an Ichi Peachy pair of plum.
Oh,
there you go.
I like that. That's
Out
nice.
goes all 3 of those chums.
Fantastic shot from John Epping. And just like that, Scott Zachary just coming a little too deep and a little too open.
Yeah. Even half buried there would have probably secured the deuce. So big shot here for Paul. Needs to get buried on this shot. And that's probably the only chance they'll have at a deuce this end.
Whoa. Yep. Yep. Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Just looking for a hit and roll here. Ryan Abraham trying to curve it.
Looks like a little high side.
Yeah, couldn't quite get it there. And so now this is actually a chance for John Epping to set up a force if he can make the roll.
Yeah, board weight, you can throw it like edge of the rock. How hard? 4. Middle 8 foot. For that roll.
So final stone for John Epping here in the fourth end without hammer.
Weight's good.
Looking for a hit and a little flop.
Whoa! Good board. Whoa!
Control.
Really warped there at the end.
Absolutely, yeah.
So looking for the blank here now for Paul.
Yeah, Paul will feel like he's a little bit hard done by to only come away with a blank here. They were set up the whole end for 2, and a fantastic triple from John Epping erased that. So they'll just be looking for the blank here, and we'll try it all again in the 5th.
Oh, Phil.
And this is floating.
Pretty good.
And he's got it, no problem. So Paul Flemming makes them all go away, and you can see an empty house there, and it'll be an empty scoreboard. 2 zeros go up here in the 4th. Paul Flemming will keep the hammer down 1 as we head into the second half of this game on curling.com. We'll be right back after this.
Thank you for being that wild, crazy place filled with love and joy that I get to raise my family in.
Thank you for movie night.
Thank you for my new home for giving me my independence.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're back for the second half of the game.
Greg, you're doing my job. I love that.
There you go.
You want to set up the 5th end? You go ahead. You haven't had a
I
chance
just
to
felt
do
like
it
I
yet.
could step on toes. I thought it was fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to do the rest of it, or?
God, no.
Okay. So we are back here for the 5th end at the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard. John Cullen alongside it. Greg Smith, the defending Newfoundland and Labrador Brier champion. And we are watching a fellow Atlantic team, Team Paul Flemming, getting it on with Team John Epping here. We're looking forward to a great second half of the game. It's been a great first half so far. This is the C final. The winner of this will go on to play Jason Gunlickson tomorrow morning, and the loser will go home. John Epping leads 3-2. Paul Flemming with hammer, and Greg, a bit of a missed opportunity last end for Paul Flemming.
Yeah, just kind of got away from there a little bit with rock placement. If Scott's last one was maybe, in a different spot, they would have secured the deuce. We're going to have to try to go at the deuce here in 5 or blank to try to keep hammer then in an even end, but we'll see now what this end holds. So we've got a great game thus far, and I'm sure the second half will be no different.
What do you like? Heavy board?
So this is the second tournament of the year for Paul Flemming as they get ready for the pre-trials at the end of this month. Of course, it's a home province pre-trials for this team. They'll be heading just about 45 minutes south to Liverpool for the pre-trials, and they started off the year with a tournament in Halifax and didn't have the tournament they wanted to. They were in the curling store cash spiel, and they went bang, bang, bang in that one, losing all 3. But they've had a really nice run through the tournament here in Oakville. They lost their first 2 to Ferris and Ainsley, but then they beat Reed and they beat Fournier. And so that's got them here in this C final against John Epping.
And that's a nice shot there. They're pretty even.
Yeah, going to be tough for John to get both of these. So Matt Cam just maybe stick, maybe get a little roll inside. Of course, John Epping already in the Olympic trials. So they're just gearing up for their year. This is their 4th tournament of the year and heading off to Penticton next weekend. And so will we. Nice shot from Matt Cam there. Curling.com will be heading to Penticton, so we'll have coverage of the entire event live from the interior of British Columbia, my beautiful home province. A ton of the top men's teams playing there. Kevin Cooey, Brendan Botcher, Matt Dunstone, and a host of others. So it's going to be some phenomenal curling action. Of course, John Epping almost has too many sponsors to name, but Dr. Joe's Live Relief, been there, dumped that. Balance Plus, Shipton's, and maybe John's most fun sponsor. He has his own beer made by Radical Road Brewing, Epic Ale.
Which is good.
Yes, I've heard
there's so many good beers here this week.
I've heard it's quite good. It is
good.
served here at the Oakville Curling Club, and I know John has said that they've had a really good response to the beer, and it's kind of a pretty cool thing to be able to drink your own beer and also have your friends and competitors drink your beer too. Very fun. And they're also sponsored by CoolBet, which is really doing a lot of stuff with curling betting. So if you're a degenerate like me and you think you know more about curling than the odds makers also like me, you can head on over to CoolBet, and the trials will be a great time to maybe make some money off of your curling viewing. So that'll get rid of just about everything in play, and you might see Paul Flemming peel this guard and just blank it into 6.
Actually, a little bit surprised.
Yeah.
I would,
Full 8.
and I'm pretty aggressive. I think I'd peel this right now.
Yeah, we've talked all weekend. It's certainly in an 8-end game, the 6th end, such a pivotal end, and a lot of teams these days choose to try to blank 5 if they have the opportunity to in order to keep hammer in 6. But maybe Paul Flemming just sensing an opportunity here, maybe after the last end, just wanting to get back on the board.
Especially seeing it's not quite a center guard either. It's an off-center corner guard. So if you were to come around this successfully, you do have a decent chance at a deuce.
Just a little short from Ryan Abraham, but good sweeping from Scott Zachary and Phil Crowell. Gets it into the house. Nothing too crazy to report around the houses here, but we do have a couple score updates for you. Pat Ferris has taken a 2-1 lead over Rob Ainsley on sheet 2. And Justin Murphy has tied it up with Irene Shorey. She got 1 in the 4th, so they're tied at 2 over there. And South Korea, the team from Gyeonggi City, Yeonjung Kim, has tied her game with Mackenzie Zacharias up at 3. All those games in the 5th.
I'd like to do, we're quite fortunate as one of the other teams here from Atlantic Canada have some really great sponsors, so I'd like to do a little quick shout out to them. Newfoundland Styro, who's the sponsor of Team Smith for many years. Stu Sells, so Stu Sankey and the team who are running an amazing event here and a sponsor. Kitty Vitty Brewery, Harvey's Home Heating, Chess's Fish and Chips, Classics Marketing and Consultant, Asham, who's been a sponsor for many years, and our new sponsor this year, who is our jackets, is Fox Glide out of Scotland. So a lot of teams like ourselves, to be able to travel and to compete at this level, it takes a team and it takes a lot of good sponsors. So we're quite blessed and thankful to have them.
Absolutely, well said. That's what we're trying to do here on curling.com, is get as much exposure to team sponsors as possible. You may have seen some of the ads in between the games And a lot of those ads are brought to us by the teams. So these are actual team sponsors that give us ads, and we run them on the broadcast to try and get them support. So obviously we know it's not an easy sport to do without that kind of monetary involvement.
I want to do a shout out to our coach, Leslie Ann Walsh. I'm not sure if she's watching right now, but
She better be, otherwise the shout out is a complete waste of time.
completely. It's a complete waste of time otherwise. Because if not, then I have to tell her I did a shout out and you weren't listening.
Yeah.
So
Go
Leslie
back.
Ann,
We'll
we
have
love
to-
you, we miss you, and we're thankful for you.
There you go. Yeah, it's in the fifth end sometime. Just go back and watch it. I swear I said your name.
Exactly. And I bet you said my name a few times this week. Oh gosh, Greg, what was that?
So it does look like we're heading for a blank here in the fifth.
My teammate texted me, wanted to shout out too. So to our front end, thank you for
Oh
carrying
my
my
goodness!
rocks.
How many more shout outs are you going to do?
That's it. He just, but he texted me, and you can
Yeah,
you
I
can
can
verify
see.
that there,
Alex
John.
McDonough. Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
I know.
I
Shocking,
can
isn't
hear
it?
him, yeah. I think I decided that it's his right eye that he's blind in, that you can see out of his left. You told me I had to decide by watching the broadcast.
I want to say that you're right. However,
you don't even know.
I don't even know. I just know that there's a side when he's sliding at me that I'm like, you can't see that side. Love you, Alex.
That's the way I wanted to throw.
So John Epping makes no mistake.
Well, this is still looking the way that I would want it to look if I'm Paul Flemming, and that is for the blank.
We're almost bored. Okay.
If you blank here and you score in the next end, you have a reasonable shot at taking the match.
So Paul Flemming just looking for the hit and stick. There is a guard out front, so it's important he keeps this yellow in the house.
Whoa! Whoa!
I'm trying to pay as much attention as I can, John. They're playing Low Down by Boss Skaggs right now, and this is a tune.
Okay, nice throw.
Nice shot there.
Yeah, couple
Keep
nice.
play away from the corner there, and your blank is pretty good.
Same.
So John Epping with his last stone in the fifth, just trying to stay in the rings, so he forces Paul Flemming to have to make a shot for his blank.
Same.
And he will do just that. So Paul Flemming looking for the blank here in 5 to keep the hammer into 6.
Yes! Gotta go!
Phil Crowell on it right away.
Okay, okay.
Looks good.
And now it's fine. Little bit of panic, but there was certainly no need for it as Paul Flemming makes no mistake. The score stays the same. We'll be back with 6N coverage of the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard right after this.
Thank you for being that wild, crazy place filled with love and joy that I get to raise my family in.
Thank you for movie night.
Thank you for my new home for giving me my independence.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Asham Curling Supply.
Superior fit, comfort, and performance. Asham curling shoes are the best we've ever used.
Hi folks, I'm Arnold Asham and our product is always satisfaction guaranteed or your money back.
Asham Curling Supplies.
That's your best delivery of the day.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to the continuing coverage of the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard here on curling.com, sportsnet.ca, and World Curling TV. John Cullen alongside Greg Smith as we call this C final between Team Paul Flemming and Team John Epping. And it's been a back and forth affair, but a couple blanks in a row now, and John Epping still has a 1-point lead, but the Nova Scotia rink with the hammer here in 6. And Greg, I can imagine that this is the end where Paul Flemming will really like to score. If they can, especially.
If this is the time to pounce, this is the time to pounce. So really need to make sure that you score here for Paul. I mean, unless you blank now and you blank 7, this is when you want to score 1 or 2, optimally 2.
Yeah, no question. So and they get right to business going around that center guard. Not throwing a corner, Greg. I'm maybe a little surprised by that.
I kind of like it though. I think that's something that it's 6-1, half dozen the other. I know for us that in this exact scoreboard, we'd probably come around 2. Based on the merits, if you throw the corner and they come around good, you have to make a run back once in the end, and if you don't, then you're probably forced. So, and I mean, you know, God willing, you're going to make a run back, but I think this is a pretty good setup here, especially now that I think that the freeze came up short. I'm assuming it was a freeze.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I would assume so too, but they didn't seem to be panicking, so maybe they were trying to double center for some reason. I don't know, but in any case, Phil Crow will look to put a second behind those 2 centers.
Yep. Line's good. Line's good. Wait 3. Yep. Yes. Hard. Hard, bud. Get a play. Oh, oh.
Lovely shot.
Nice shot, Phil.
Great shot from Phil. Great pair. And Team Flemming getting this quest for 2 set up correctly.
3/4.
Looks like math. Okay. So run pretty much right down there, right? As you through this. What?
Looks like a little bit outward there on the release. But what do I know?
What a shot from Matt Cam.
That's a great shot.
Fantastic shot. As we said, Paul Flemming would have liked to get on the scoreboard in this end, and now he might be thinking, geez, I got to blank 2 more ends in a row here, possibly.
And I would be, well, the corner is pretty good. I might be leaning towards just trying to blank this and blank 7, but I'm assuming if you throw the corner that John's going to peel it.
Most likely, yeah, that would seem to be true. As Ryan Abraham throws this corner, I can tell you that Pat Ferris put another point up on the board against Rob Ainsley. So Pat Ferris up 3-1, Ainsley with the hammer. They're playing 6. And Isabel Ladisseur added to her lead. Just 1 point though, so she's up 4-2 on Shannon J. Shannon J with the hammer, and they're playing in 6 as well. And John Epping's going to peel this, so it seems like he's content to let Paul Flemming blank too. And I guess for John, you just try to force Paul in the 7th.
Exactly. I think that's the exact mindset is next end you're going to see, if everything plays out from here, you're going to see Paul try to go for the blank once again, and the force is going to be the thing that Team Epping's going for.
It's a little bit lively here on a Thanksgiving Sunday in the Oakville Curling Club. Team Howard and a few of the other ladies teams that are already qualified for tomorrow hanging out and enjoying the games here just as we are. Wish you all a happy Thanksgiving as well if you're joining us maybe post-dinner. Your eyes half open, that's probably the best way to watch curling. So as we head on our quest for yet another blank end, also want to shout out some curling.com sponsors. You can see their logos at the back there. RBC, Firehouse Subs, Remax and Stew Cells, Runback, Close Concepts Electrical Solutions, and our official event sponsor of the Toronto Tankard, In Situ Environmental Remediation. If you don't know what that means, neither do I, but I learned it. I learned it this weekend. It's obviously they actually do really great stuff. They go into communities and into sites that were maybe environmentally contaminated. So think like old gas stations, factories, plants, things like that. They go in and clean it up and make the land safe for future use. So they do great work, and they do great work sponsoring curling too. So we thank In Situ for being the presenting sponsor of the Stew Cells Toronto Tankard. You can check them out online at irsl.ca.
Yeah. Right in.
Right in.
So Team Flemming just giving up on the guards now and coming in the house. They maybe are a little worried that Epping might decide to come around, so
That's okay.
he'll put this in.
What was that?
Air more. Normal. Good normal.
Epping will roll out, but that doesn't matter a whole lot. In one of the other men's C finals, Jonathan Buke managed to score 1 in the 5th end. So they have the lead now 4-3 over Mark Keane. Mark Keane with the hammer playing the 6th end.
Ryan's good.
Put it on the button. Right on the button.
That's a nice draw there, just to get some feel there for
Good
Flemming.
judge, guys.
Yeah, always nice as a skip, I'm sure, Greg, especially this late in the game, to get just a free draw to be able to feel that out.
Oh, it is indeed.
I guess you could have used a few more of those this weekend.
Well, you didn't need to throw shade at me like that, but that's certainly okay, you know.
Hey, you started throwing shade at yourself, so I figured it was okay.
It is totally fine.
Oh, good.
My teammates are going to give you a high five for exactly that.
Perfect. That's all I've ever wanted.
And
So-
looks like a throw through for the blank,
Yeah,
actually.
John
from
Epping
Paul.
will once again roll out.
So the mission now next end for Paul is probably to blank. It's probably the most optimal situation coming into the 8th, if that is something he can achieve in 7.
Anything you want to see here, Ryan? Any path? I'm just going board weight. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right.
And so much like a starter's pistol, 6 blanks. Pretty good, right? Took me the last 4 minutes to come up with that.
Just good work.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
work.
you. I'm doing my best. So Paul Flemming just throws board weight. This will go through the house, and we will throw a 3rd consecutive blank up on the board after a barn burner start. Things have slowed down a little bit here, but it's going to be a fantastic last 2 ends. Make sure you stay locked right here on curling.com. We'll be back with 7th end coverage live from the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard right after this.
I'm a little bit of a nerd when it comes to landscaping. I've studied soil down to the microbes. It's that level of detail I bring to my work and to my business. Straight lines and a healthy ecosystem is what I'm all about.
Asham Curling Supply.
Superior fit, comfort, and performance. Asham curling shoes are the best we've ever used.
Hi, folks. I'm Arnold Asham, and our product is always satisfaction guaranteed or your money back.
Asham Curling Supplies.
That's your best delivery of the day.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to continuing coverage of the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard live from Oakville, Ontario. You're watching the C final between Paul Flemming and John Epping. The winner moves on and the loser goes home. John Cullen here alongside Greg Smith on the call for you. And it's been 3 blanks in a row. So some phenomenal shots to start the game. Paul Flemming with a great shot for 2. John Epping just about making a beautiful shot for 4 in the 3rd, but settling for 2. And that's where we find ourselves right now. 3-2 for John Epping.
I threw that harder? I thought thought that was really good. And you guys swept the last one most of the way.
So, as we said, John Epping looking to force Paul Flemming to 1 here and have the hammer in the 8th. And Paul Flemming will be doing his best to either blank or score a multiple.
How's the weight?
Of course, the winner here will move on to face Jason Gunlugson tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. I know you've got a holiday Monday tomorrow, so hopefully you'll join us. We'll have coverage all day of both the men's and ladies' events. Finishing up here in Oakville.
Sitting up half decent here for Team Flemming at the moment.
Yeah, I guess, Greg, if you're Team Flemming, you just have to make sure if you do score here, it's more than one.
Exactly, exactly.
So Matt Cam trying to come around everything here. Live shot.
This looks a little light.
It does. Maybe they were trying to freeze, I'm not sure, but in any case, it's not in a spot they want. I feel pretty confident saying that.
Yeah. Decision now for Paul. Do you play the double peel and try to blank it out? Or how do you think you can generate more?
I think that's what he's going to talk to Scott Zachary about, so we'll listen and see what they think.
At what point do you want to rip these guards?
Well, yeah, I don't know. That looks pretty juicy to get to the nose with just through.
Yeah.
And then we can, I think, get to the nose with just through. Be pretty juicy.
They're referring to backline nose is pretty juicy. It is, but if you don't, it's pretty bad. It's one of those make or miss kind of shots. There's no real 3 out of 4, 2 out of 4 decent options. So if you make it, great position. If not, your force is pretty well in there.
You're just like crossing center line, over on the over curl. No, you can get everything going that way. Yeah, you got it.
I think they're peeling.
Yeah, I think Ryan Abraham said that probably
pretty thick.
Probably thinking what exactly along the lines of what you were thinking, Greg, that if you don't make this shot, then if you don't make the quote unquote juicy shot, the nose weight. Or sorry, the nose weight.
Nose weight.
the backline weight nose tap. If you don't make that, then you're in trouble. You're probably getting forced.
Yeah.
Whereas if you peel these, it does leave the blank in play. So Ryan Abraham will make the double peel and we'll hang up the phone with the Notorious B.I.G. Because there's no juicy shot.
Okay,
that
that took me a second to comprehend in my brain, but once I did, it was okay.
Okay, that's what I want. I want the joke to take you a while to figure out, and then once you figure it out, still not be that good.
No. I mean, like that's just a me issue. It was quite good. It was me with the issue on the joke.
Well, thank you. It's okay. I can handle it if you didn't like it. But now here's an opportunity for John Epping. Just
two options. You can roll away or you can roll under. Both are pretty favorable. I think nose might not be the best one.
Yes! Really hard.
This is pretty close.
Hard, you got it.
Really got to go. And that is not the best outcome. I think if there's room to make the double, you might be able to spin up a hair. It's pretty tight, but I think it is there.
Yeah, I think it's there.
Close to the same weight. Okay.
It's just looking for the flop.
As long as you get to the inside, you're fine.
So a chance here for Ryan Abraham to double out the 2 Epping stones and lie 2 with hammer.
I think he's only throwing a softer weight. I could be wrong. I think he's.
Oh, I thought Paul said throw the same weight. Yeah, he's throwing for the double here.
Oh, well, then you're right, aren't you?
It's okay. As long as one of the 2 of us gets it right, that's really all that matters.
It is.
Okay.
Good outcome.
Okay.
Yeah, that works just fine too. Didn't need to make the double. I've been commentating most of the weekend with Mary Chilvers, and she definitely bailed me out a few times. So more than happy to pay it forward and bail you out there, Greg.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Can give you an update from a ladies' game here while we wait to see what John Epping decides. Mackenzie Zacharias forced to 1 by Team Kim. So she is up 4-3. Zacharias is, but Kim does have the hammer playing 6.
Still think we're in.
Well, Epping gave 3 eyebrow raises there. That's never
Still
a good
think we're in
sign.
trouble actually, because he makes this.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Just trying to figure out a way not to
do
give up
we-
3 here, I think, is Epping.
Just to freeze into here.
I mean, he doesn't want to give up 2 either, but I think that's what he's worried about.
I might be inclined to hit the open one on this and say you make the move.
And if you're there, it's.
Or you throw just enough to kill it. Try and nose it. That may make the double, maybe. I don't know. You could run that. I mean, we're in real trouble for a 2 here, and sometimes for a 3 when we do that.
I don't know, guys.
You got to go in there. I mean, your miss is heavy and bump and roll, I think, not light. Light, and he splits
You
this
could
one.
hit.
You're in
You
real
could hit the
trouble.
open one on the right and kind of roll into lie 2. That might be. I don't know if they've looked at that, but that might be where I would be.
Yeah, I think he's going to be
leaning,
able
but
to chase and
I don't know
roll,
what
and
that
then we're going to
means.
have yellow to this one here, but I don't know. This, no, I don't like. I think I mean, if we can make it, I like it, but I feel like it's hard.
We can make it.
My shot is I think my shot is here, but. No, I don't know. I don't know. It's that or this.
I think it's normal. I don't think it's fast. I think it's
So it
kinda-
looks like they're trying to freeze into the pocket of those 2,
like
Greg.
plenty of ice
Do you
to
like
me.
that call?
I mean,
Maybe. Yeah.
yeah.
It feels like one of those ones where John Epping himself kind of doesn't really know what to do. So
I liked the other thing he looked at that I think that the world 200th rank me was suggesting. That was the hit. I think I like the hit to. I think the hit to lie 2 is pretty well gonna also secure a force.
So they'll end up tapping it up for shot.
Not a bad outcome, but I think he can still make it. Lie
I
2.
think so too.
Is that jam? You might even roll to a good spot right here.
Not much, though.
It's hard to keep the shooter, I think, on this one.
Well, you might lose your shooter to make the double, yeah. Which is fine. Yeah. Or just play this.
Yeah, I was gonna
And
say,
get that in the
play
open.
that and get that to there.
That's a good. That's a
There'll be
good
shot,
option.
though. They're gonna come around, and then we're gonna be staggered. We
Yeah.
won't be able to get at it.
Yeah.
If
I
you
mean,
kind
we'll
of
have
just throw
this
like
double.
control and you just nose it and not, or like an 11, I think that might be pretty good.
Can you get to the
You have 2
inside?
ways then
Can
to
you
get
to
at
the
it.
inside enough that we can sit 3? Probably not, eh?
I think it's
no.
kind of hard to. Yeah, I think it's kind of hard to sit 3.
Tough. But even if you know you make the roll, get this guy to here, that's pretty good.
Could you nose? Just don't want to stagger it so we can
Yeah, I
still
hear
access
you. I
it.
hear you. Yeah. Nose is not horrible. Big guard, we got this, right?
Yeah, I just don't think I can get.
I think you try to get to the inside. I really do.
Yeah. All right. Just control.
Yeah. And if you end up nosing it, that's okay.
Okay. What do you guys like?
I think if they're throwing control, nose may be
Just control at the most.
one of the better outcomes you can get.
Yeah, try to roll in and then squirt the one we're hitting out into the open. Yeah. It's edge to edge. Nose is okay. Just like good board, yeah. Control at the most, yeah.
So Scott Zachary's first
Whoa.
here in the 7th end.
Yep. Yes!
Looking to get at the shot stone here.
Wow.
And you did not want to do that.
No.
That is a huge miss from Scott Zachary.
Guard it. You can guard it.
John is talking about a guard here. I think I like the hit on the wide one. Yeah, I think that's what they've came to is the conclusion.
I guess with this one, Greg, you just want to make sure that you roll a little bit to be second shot.
Exactly. Exactly.
Crazy to draw.
I think it's just important now if you can force.
Yeah, then he plays the split
Tide
on
coming
his
home
net.
with is a situation I think that most teams would love.
How hard? Control. So roll in a foot. Well, make sure it's where you like it.
You want board? Sure. Whoa. Board. Good board. Good board. Whoa.
Coming down.
Yep. Whoa.
Coming down.
Whoa.
So it doesn't quite get the roll. Flemming still remains second shot.
Wonder now if you play the top double, if it's kind of close to getting that one too. Probably goes over the top, but you might,
Try to get this
you might
behind
kick
here.
it over too.
Top rock on the inside.
Whoa. Phil. Hard, Phil. Hard.
Trying to get this to curl.
Okay.
And it will not. So just a couple misses from Scott Zachary, and what was looking like maybe a 2 or 3 for Flemming is now looking like a force for John Epping.
Still second shot though, so that rock has to be dealt with. But it is looking very much so like a force.
Wow, you don't want to leave him the banked up.
I think you want to nose this.
But well, the problem is if I roll behind here, he's going to have it off there and be dead buried over here and sit too. So I think we got to nose it. I think you got to nose it with nose with board.
Trying to nose it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you want to roll far. He'll just.
Board.
Yeah, Maddie's through here.
And yeah, that was just.
Yeah, you got a good idea.
Yeah.
Wait.
Board, yeah.
It's good.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Keep going. Whoa!
Nice shot.
Yeah, good spot there for Epping. And now if you're Paul Flemming, how do you generate two?
I think if you throw some decent weight off the back one and you roll, you probably get the same outcome if you were to draw, but you might have to roll off the wide one or, yeah. Force is looking very likely unless a really great shot is made here by Paul.
We gotta make sure of our path for one.
Yeah.
But I don't want to give up on two yet either. I mean, I could play the.
I was just gonna say that 6. Does that ever go onto that? And you sit?
No.
No. Okay. Well,
I think we probably got to.
You can't get through here, can you?
No. I think we got to. Yeah. And maybe my shooter might stagger this, and they can't.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Right there.
Yeah.
Let's get that into here.
Yeah. Okay.
It'd be nice if you could ever make that.
What?
It'd be nice if you could ever get that onto that, but.
Yeah, but the weight I'm throwing.
But, all right. I think it's like control.
Yeah.
Control. Right there. Just a slight over curl.
Correct.
So Paul Flemming looking to make a short run back here.
I mean, I could
shot.
Wrap one around that yellow corner, but he's got a pretty easy bump, right? Well, no, he's just bumping the red one up. Yeah, yeah. So we're just going to try to get a slight over curl with board, and we might stagger these front two so he doesn't have a run back.
So you heard it there from Paul.
Yeah, like just a.
Trying to over curl this slightly so that it overlaps the top two rocks, and John Epping won't have a way of getting at the one that they run into the house. So a finesse shot here needed from Paul Flemming, down 1 in the 7th, his first. Ryan Abraham on it right out of the hand.
Gotta take the shooter.
Yeah, they just might have overswept that a little bit, and the yellow rolls too far, and I think that's going to be wide open for John Epping.
Force is very likely, if not a steal here.
Well, that's just it. It looks now like they did stagger the guards, and now John Epping can go behind them.
Yeah.
Just because the hole's not.
Make this. He's got really hard to score.
Gotta throw at least normal
Like a
through the
little
hole
less,
here to
but
kind
yeah.
of keep it straight.
Normal looks like the weight to me. Normal's looking like the weight.
So you can see the scoreboard beside John Buke with a big steal of 2 in the 6th. So they lead Mark Keane 6-3.
Normal's looking like the weight, just with the.
Keane does have hammer and 7 over there.
Well, just with the yellow. Okay. Like once I play past the board, that yellow definitely comes into play. Okay. I gotta start it on the guard. I don't want.
So normal?
Normal, yeah.
So John Epping was a little worried that he brings the guard into play if he tries to get too cute with the roll, so he's just throwing normal here. Just happy to force Flemming. And maybe he still gets the roll.
Gotta go, buddy.
Can't hurt it here, I can tell you that.
Really gotta go. Great sweep.
Oh.
And that will go underneath, but it'll hang on. So Epping will sit 3, and Paul Flemming's going to be forced to draw.
Full 12 for the single here.
Like that? Yeah.
So big shot here for Paul Flemming, facing 3 John Epping counters. Needs to have this in order to send this game to an 8th end.
Like that ice?
Final stone. Paul Flemming looking for one. The two sweepers on it right away.
Line's good.
Cannot afford to be light here.
Nor heavy.
Line's
True.
okay. Yeah, line's
Yeah.
good.
It looks pretty good.
Play the weight. Play the weight, guys. Full. There, guys.
Looks like they
a good
got to go to
shot.
get it there.
Come on.
Looks like they got to go to get it there.
He's good.
Good sweeping. Good sweeping.
And
Not by much, but he's
get
good.
it there they do. Great sweep from Ryan and Phil to secure the one for Paul Flemming. That's going to tie this game at 3. We're heading into a phenomenal 8th end. John Epping will have the hammer. We are tied. Don't go anywhere.
I'm a little bit of a nerd when it comes to landscaping. I've studied soil down to the microbes. It's that level of detail I bring to my work and to my business. Straight lines and a healthy ecosystem is what I'm all about.
Asham Curling Supply.
Superior fit, comfort, and performance. Asham curling shoes are the best we've ever used.
Hi, folks. I'm Arnold Asham, and our product is always satisfaction guaranteed or your money back.
Asham Curling Supplies.
That's your best delivery of the day.
Thank you for being that wild, crazy place filled with love and joy that I get to raise my family in.
Thank you for movie night.
Thank you for my new home for giving me my independence.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to continuing coverage of the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard. Live from Oakville, Ontario. You're probably watching this on curling.com or sportsnet.ca or World Curling TV, wherever you are. Thank you for being here. John Cullen alongside Greg Smith. This is the C final, and it's truly one end winner take all right here as we are tied 3-3. John Epping with the hammer and Greg Smith. This has been a real nail biter, but Epping's got to like his chances here in the 8th.
I think most people would be pretty pleased having Hammer coming home, but you never know how safe you are. You have to make what you call. So whether it's the tick or the come around, you have to make that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see how it all shakes out. Of course, this is the C final. The winner of this game will move on to the playoffs. They'll be in the money. They'll be qualified. And they'll earn themselves a date with Jason Gunlickson tomorrow morning.
We can go.
And the loser will get some beer provided by their opponents.
Isn't that the blessing of the sport?
That is the blessing of the
Oh
sport.
my
Yeah.
gosh, what am I thankful for? That. Right? Family, friends, alcohol provided by opposition when you lose.
Yeah. Yeah, truly one of the great things about this sport.
Yeah, Maddie will have a go at this.
Yeah.
So it looks like the first
building's right
tick
here.
was
Get in
not
our way.
made. I would think
Nope.
that might be correct.
That is correct, yeah. So Paul
Those
Fleming's got the two centers up.
There is a stagger though.
Yeah.
Which
So
is,
that's what they're debating now. Do they try a tick with Brent's or do they save it so that they can double it off?
My gut always is if you miss the first tick, you go in, but this is a little extraordinary in the sense that the second guard isn't really covering much of the closer guard, which is the one that's going to hurt you more.
Absolutely, yeah. And if that ends up being the only guard in play, it's not really going to affect your draw path either if you're John Epping.
Not at all.
So Brent Lang looking to make the tick here. We'll just try to move this one onto the rings. Seems like it might be a little bit wide here. Can Matt Cam bring it over?
Whoa.
He cannot. So a couple misses from Brent Lang, and now all of a sudden
we have an end.
Business might pick up. Yep, absolutely. Business picking up also on sheet 6. Shannon Jay scoring 3 in the 6th end. So she leads Isabel Ladisseur 5-4. Ladisseur with the hammer. They're playing 7. Korea was able to pull one back on Mackenzie Zacharias, so they've been trading ones the last 4 ends, and they're tied up at 4. Zacharias has the hammer playing 7. And Rob Ainsley only able to get one back on Pat Ferris, so Pat Ferris is up 1 with hammer. They're playing the 7th.
Just play the weight. Just play the weight. I think you're there, guys.
So Ryan Abraham just trying to come around here.
Looks a little wide. Looks a little heavy.
They'd like to be able to finish it, but you don't want to be behind the tee line here.
This is pretty good.
Yeah, that finishes really nicely for Ryan.
Really nice throw there from Ryan.
So the triple is here for Matt Cam, but
Here go, Maddie Maker.
we'll see. Obviously not an easy shot.
Whoa, whoa.
He doesn't seem to love it out of his hand.
Wow.
And he will just miss. So uncharacteristic from Matt Cam. We saw him make a quad earlier this game, and he just can't get that rock hit in the right spot. And so Flemming will have a chance to replace it. And the score updates coming fast and furious here. Isabel Ladisseur getting 1 in the 7th, so it'll be a similar situation to here. They're all tied up at 5. Playing the 8th, Shannon Jay with the hammer in that one. And we have another tie game in the 8th. You can tell why all these teams are in the C finals, all very evenly matched. Irene Shorey and Justin Murphy all tied up at 3. Justin Murphy only managing to get 1 in the 7th. So Shorey will have the hammer coming home in that one. And John Buke continuing to lead Mark Keane by 3 in their C final as well. So now you're all up to date. We can focus on this game here.
I think we have a final on sheet 2.
It does look that way.
I want to say that that's a win for Team Ferris.
I would assume so, yeah. They were up by 1, and they pushed the rocks into the corner, so
I think there
we'll
was a
go ahead
chance
and
there
make
for
that safe assumption.
I will make that assumption.
Pat Ferris, our first to qualify out of the C finals, so we'll see him tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pat Ferris playing a really good game this afternoon against Sam Steep, and obviously continuing that play into tonight. I believe they will be moving on to play Corey Dropkin in the morning, the Young Bucks from Duluth, Minnesota. And of course, the winner of our game playing Jason Gunlickson, and if John Buke can manage to hang on, they'll earn themselves a date with Brad Gushu. And that will be the game that we'll have for you tomorrow morning here. The coverage will be once again available on curling.com, sportsnet.ca, and World Curling TV. It'll be the winner of Buke and Keene against Brad Gushu.
Good judge.
Should be a dandy. That'll go at 9 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow. We'll have coverage tomorrow of the men's quarters and the men's final. And we'll have coverage of the ladies' semifinal. So it's going to be a busy day, but it'll be a fun one. I know it's a holiday for Canadians, and hopefully you'll all be able to join us. So John Epping going to be chasing this one in the house. That guard over curling just a little bit on Scott Zachary, and opportunity now for Ryan Fry to get in there.
It'll be gradual. The speed's okay. Okay. Weight's close. Yep, I think so.
Yep.
That looks real tight.
Hard. Whoa. Langer.
Really got to curve it here. That's a nice shot.
Keep going, John. Keep
Yeah.
going, John.
They
So
will
the same
move it.
Shot is going to be there for Team Flemming. They're going to have an opportunity to go right to the pin again.
What was that for reference?
And their shot too, so that's a situation for John Epping where maybe he would have loved to be shot there because Flemming would have ignored it and gone around the centers, but it might have given Epping a catcher for later on in the end.
Exactly.
So it's been all Team Flemming so far without the hammer here, but this is a huge shot for Scott Zachary. Needs to get this one in a good spot.
Top four, top button would probably be
Ryan.
optimal here.
Hard, Ryan. Hard, it's got a curl. Yeah. Yep. Yep. I got it.
And that
Little
one just
bit deep.
little deep. It didn't quite finish as much as they wanted to, so they swept it maybe a little deeper. And this is now an opportunity. If Ryan Fry can make this and get underneath the guard, they're looking pretty good for their one here, Greg.
Yeah, big time. I want to say they're not throwing a ton of weight at
Shade
this.
left.
I think they're really
Little
trying to
lighter.
throw like a hack to board.
Go ahead, Langer. Keep it going.
Yeah. Good spot, Fry.
Nice shot. Might be a little bit too high side though. I think the shot is still there to get low.
Yep.
Hack or board?
Hack.
Absolutely.
Oh, big time.
Oh, big time, for
Alright.
sure. That is probably what's going through Paul Fleming's mind right now, that exact voice. Oh, you betcha.
Hack weight, boys.
So, huge shot here for Paul Flemming, the biggest of the game. If he can manage to make this little hit and roll, he is going to be sitting pretty without hammer.
Yeah.
Close. Yep. Whoa. 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 Ryan. Ryan. Whoa. Ryan. Ryan. Whoa. Whoa. Ryan. Hard. Hard.
Can they get the roll just
Had to get Ryan on a little sooner.
little sooner? They were off and on with Ryan, and I think, Greg, that just part of that is how much it does curl once it decides to finish.
Yeah.
Looked like they kicked the guard. That's
Oh, no. No, but it wasn't.
No.
Yeah.
These were almost lined up, guys.
Yeah, they were. Thank you.
Yeah. From the ridge.
Just one of the sweepers must have kicked the guard.
I think so, and I think John Epping might have got that in a little bit better of a spot than it was in, maybe.
Roll, eh?
Canned response here.
Make the roll, Johnny.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it wasn't, I don't think on purpose. I just
So I
think
served
obviously
this
if you
spot
kick a
kinda
guard
right
on the
up
way
and
by,
down.
it's you kind of have to accept where the other team puts it.
Pretty close.
It's pretty close, yeah, for sure.
Hold on.
Yeah, no, it's, yeah, I think it's almost exact, actually, now that I'm looking at it a little closer. So all good, no harm, no foul, and John Epping will look to be the one to make this roll.
Weight's good.
No one's been able to do it yet, and if John can, it's probably a W.
Yeah, no, big time.
A little harder than you.
Whoa. Yeah. Whoa.
This looks
Wow.
very good.
And that is as cool as you like from John Epping. Just a
Whoever was going to
phenomenal
make
hit and
that
roll.
first is probably have a wonderful chance at winning the game.
Absolutely. And
now
now,
I think he's going to have to come around the works.
yeah.
Here.
So
You got it.
not easy for Paul Flemming, and he's playing a turn that they haven't played yet. So
Trying to think what they've been doing here.
a little bit of a
Nice
guess.
Phil
That'll come in there.
That was the last one.
I think that'll come in there. So we want back button this
Yeah.
berries.
I don't mind. It's like we were edge. Enough?
To hair more, bud. Can't chase that, can I? Maybe I can chase that. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, but if we... No, are you sure?
Sorry, I missed the comment there, John, from Ryan.
I think they're just trying to decide what turn to
If we
play
knows
here.
and they knows, if I get to the nose and they knows, who shot there, right?
The intern looks,
Oh, they're just playing the draw to them.
Well, that's okay. I mean, I'm
Better.
just saying that looks a little
though no one's
chaseable
played it
from
really.
down there than here.
Yeah.
So it looks like they're maybe talking about playing the hit, actually, Greg.
Close to the
Oh.
nose.
Because Paul's saying that if they nose and then Epping noses back, the question was, would we be shot?
I don't know if Epping would be nosing it, though.
Well, that's what Scott said. Well, Epping would draw. And I think Paul said, well, that's fine. Like, he almost would rather John have to make the draw than himself.
Back there?
Oh,
I think you can.
Okay.
I'd be inclined to come around this. You have to expect them to make a draw to the forefoot, in my honest opinion.
Yeah, and I think that is what they did end up deciding. So Paul Flemming is going to need to catch a piece of the button around 3 stones to force John Epping to throw his last one. Final stone for Paul Flemming without hammer in the 8th.
That room, guys. Whoa, room.
I feel like it's
Lots
warm,
of
if
room.
anything.
No line.
The line will be good.
They need this to curl.
Always Phil.
Looks like a lot of weight. I think it's a bit too much.
Just a little bit too much weight for Paul Flemming, and so John Epping will be able to tuck that final red in his back pocket. Doesn't even need to throw it. He'll pick up the 1 and the victory. So John Epping will move on to play Jason Gunlugson in the quarterfinal of the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard tomorrow morning. But what a well-played game from both teams. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. We'll be back here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time with coverage of the men's quarterfinals live from the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard. For Greg Smith, I'm John Cullen. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.